Today, what I'm going to show you is a free automation machine made via Make.com. I'll explain that in a second. That basically automates getting PR for your website, right? Now, this is really powerful because if you have an agency website, well, you need more trust to get more clients in. If you get more trust, if you get more mentions around the internet, then you look more professional and therefore clients are more likely to buy from you. Now, the other thing as well that is really good for SEO. So the more mentions around the internet you get, the more backlinks you get, the higher your ranking is going to be, right? So, for example, if we look at some of the best backlinks that I have pointing from other websites to mine, for example, like this domain rating 73 website or this domain rating 81 website right here, these are backlinks pointing directly to our agency site. So it's good for PR, it's good for SEO, it's good for building trust with clients because they're going to see all these mentions of you. And today, what I'm going to explain is exactly how to leverage this and automate it using ChatGPT, AI, and a free little automation I've created with Make.com. So let's get straight into it. So you might be wondering, what is Make.com? Make.com is basically a cheaper version of Zapier that automates different apps together, right? So for example, even if you're onboarding a client, well, a client can fill out a form, then the team gets notified, it creates a record in your database, and it also sends an email to the client to say thank you, right? And it does all these crazy automations. There's so much power in learning it, but also it's very good for PR, and that's what we're going to focus on today. And this is free to use for your first few operations. So let me show you an example. So I actually don't have a paid plan. You can see I have a free subscription right here, and you get 1,000 operations per month, right? So you can do 1,000 automations per month for free and generate PR for free using the system that I'm about to show you. Whereas if you were using Zapier, well, you're going to get nowhere near that amount of transactions. So what I'm going to do, and you can see all these crazy automations I've created here. So for example, like an automation on video transcripts, integrating high level, my CRM to Google Sheets. But the one that we're going to be focusing on today is the helpareporter.com machine, the Harrow machine. And this is how I generate PR at scale. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what is Harrow? How does this all connect? And let me explain it to you. All right, so this automation is going to get you free PR from Harrow, more backlinks and more mentions, which leads to more SEO traffic and more trust, and that leads to more clients for your agency, right? So how does this work? Well, the first step is to sign up for helpareporter.com. Now, you can sign up as a source for free. And basically what you can do is once you've signed up, you will get emails from journalists every single day asking for a response or asking for you to comment on their particular blog. So for example, the email from helpareporter.com will look like this, and it's going to have a bunch of different queries that you can reply to in the list. For example, like this one, and you've got the name of the magazine, the category, the email of the person to contact, the media outlet, the deadline to respond by, and then what the journalist is looking for. And basically that's going to feed into your Harrow machine. So you're going to get emails from Harrow. So you can see part one of the automation actually filters emails from helpareporter.com via Gmail. These emails look like this, and you can sign up for free at helpareporter.com right here, right? And these are all opportunities for you to get free PR to your website, just like the mentions right here, this one and this one. And so once you get emails through, then Make.com is going to iterate the responses. So it's going to split all the text up, as you can see right here. So for example, like the email subject line, the email, the date, etc. And that's going to feed directly into ChatGPT, all right? So you plug in your API into Make.com, and it's going to take any Harrow responses and write a response to every Harrow query that's relevant, just like you can see right here. Then it's going to create a relevant email subject line. And finally, it's going to figure out what's the best email address to contact from the Harrow query. So just to recap, you sign up to helpareporter.com, you get emails like this directly to your inbox. That's going to feed directly to Make.com. You just connect your email address to it. You use this iterator to split up the text from the email. OpenAI is going to write the query. Then it's going to write the subject line. And it will also find the best email address to contact. And then the final step, as you can see right here, is to actually plug in the email address right here, the subject line right here, and the content right here into your email drafts. And that's essentially how the whole process works. And then you just read the email drafts in response to all the Harrow queries. You send the ones that you think are relevant, or you edit them down so that they're factually correct. And then it's going to send a bunch of emails to Harrow journalists so that you can get mentions. Now, it's actually insane how many responses you can get. So if we filter down to Goldie agency in the actual anchor text right here, and we click show results, you'll see that we actually got 366 backlinks and mentions and PR features using this process, right? Now, in the past, before ChatGPT came out, we had to do all of this manually. But using this Harrow machine, we can automate the whole process and then get as many backlinks as we want, essentially, as you can see. And you can just imagine if you were paying a PR agency to do this for you, well, it would probably cost like $400, $500 per backlink that you actually got mentioned on. Whereas with this, you're doing it for pennies because all you're paying for is the open API that you've plugged into Make.com. Now, by the way, if you're wondering, okay, where do you get the API and how do you add that into Make? So all you do is you go to platform.openai.com and then you just need to find your API key. So you go to API keys on the left over here, and then you can just create a new API key. So for example, I've created one for Make.com, some other tools that I use, etc. And it's so cheap as well. If you're just creating short responses like this on Make.com, then the API that it's using is very, very cheap. And then you just get your API, you create a new secret key, and also just something to be aware of, you can actually limit how much you spend. So you can say inside OpenAI, I just want to spend less than $1 or whatever, and that's basically it. So this is an example of what the response looks like. So you got, hey, here's my response, here's the information, hope it was useful, thanks in advance, here's my contact details, here's a bit of information about me, etc. Right? When you do send the response, just check it carefully, don't make anything up, keep it legitimate and ethical, etc. And there you go. You've got social proof in terms of who you are and that you run a company, etc. I would recommend that on the email you respond as a CEO, and I would also recommend that you use a company email address to respond to them. So for example, me@juliangoldie.com, and then you've got the subject line in the top right here. And you can see some of these backlinks are super high authority, right? So domain rating equals the strength of a website in terms of its SEO power, right? And so 0 is the lowest, 100 is the highest, and you can see we've got like a DR 76 right here, 69, 64, 81, 69, etc. These are really high authoritative websites, so we got backlinks from using this process for PR. So easy. And then eventually what you can actually do is just get a virtual assistant to handle the whole process for you. You don't really need to proofread this yourself. It's not really the job of a CEO of an agency, but yeah, that's how it works. Or you can just do it manually yourself as well and just submit the responses manually, and then it would take more time, but the responses you would get will probably be better than just using ChatGPT. And so that's basically the whole process. Now, if you do want access to my free SOP plus the Make.com automations, I'm going to include that inside my free course. So you got the SOP for sending Harrow responses manually and getting PR that way right here. And then you've also got a bunch of blueprints that you can actually import into Make.com. Now, all you need to do is download the JSON, which are these files down here, and then you import them into Make.com, like the instructions right here. So you just import it, you create a new scenario, and then you can import the module directly into Make.com, just like this one right here. And then you would hit on for scheduling, and it will just run on demand 24 hours a day to get backlinks like this, and free PR for your agency to promote it. That's basically it. The other thing I would say is there's a bunch of other automations you can play around with, and I've included all of them in this list right here so that you can use these free tools to grow your agency, to use SEO. I mean, bear in mind, if you're doing PR for yourself, then you can probably sell that as a service to clients if they're interested in it, which means that it's another way to make revenue as a business because you're basically selling free PR to your clients and scaling that way. And so you've got all the templates right here. You've got the list on all the documents right here. I've also given you a free SOP for submitting responses manually on harrow.com if you don't want to use AI. And I've explained what is Make.com and why it's so good for agencies to grow it. And like I've shown, as we've got more backlinks from PR, as you can see right here over the year, our organic traffic for the website has also increased exponentially as well throughout the year. So it's a really powerful and proven process, not just for getting PR, not just for getting more trust, not for just growing your brand, but also for increasing your SEO traffic too. So what I'm going to do is include the AI PR machine right here inside my free course. So the SOP is directly inside the description right there. You can get instant free access to it inside my free agency course. Links in the comments and description. And if you do want to book in a call about how to get more leads, traffic, and sales using SEO for either or your client's business, then feel free to book in a call and we'll talk you through how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors per month and generate thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot without Facebook or Google ads. And we'll talk about personally delivering you a link building campaign that predictably and consistently delivers you more backlinks, traffic, and sales to your website. Feel free to book that in. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.